I do that every time, and you remember every time.
Even if you have to double up on the ends,
Okay.
tighten in just a little bit more.
And I want to.
Oh, Christina's supposed to have,
I don't know.
Nor, you have something? Okay,
Awesome.
great.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to go to you.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. For roughly over 100 years now, polystyrene has been commercially produced and used in many consumer products, including food packaging. Everyone at some point has had their food or drinks in styrofoam cups, bowls, plates, or to-go boxes like this. They might be convenient, but there is a hidden danger to public health from these disposable consumer products. Studies have shown that chemicals with polystyrene foam may be linked to cancer, vision and hearing loss, birth defects, respiratory irritation, and damage to the liver, kidneys, and spleen, among other health impacts. And because these petroleum-based products may take more than 500 years to decompose, the styrofoam being an estimated 30% of landfill space, polystyrene packaging may continue its negative effects long after it has been thrown away. We can also see every single day the impact of discarded polystyrene on our environment, from litter on our beaches, to poisoning and death of our marine life, to persisting in our air and soil and water way beyond our lifetimes. Alternative products have also existed for over 100 years. But with polystyrene powered by cheap oil, businesses haven't had a reason to improve for consumers, and consumers haven't had a reason to demand better products. As both the Consumer Protection and Food Safety Agency for the state of Florida, we have an opportunity to help consumers and companies make the change to a reality with products better for human health, animal health, and the environment. That is why I am so excited to announce that the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services has started its rulemaking process to phase out the use of polystyrene food packaging products at over 40,000 grocery stores, markets, convenience stores, and other businesses that we regulate. Because there is no data on how polystyrene food packaging is currently being used in Florida businesses, the department is seeking to have regulated entities begin reporting annually the amount of styrene sold and distributed each year. It is our vision to begin a phased-out reduction of the amount of polystyrene food packaging that can be used until we reach a zero within this decade. These new rules are undergoing, and the rulemaking process is now, including workshops and public comments like the one that we had here earlier today. And the final details will evolve as we hear from businesses, from experts, and, most importantly, the public. This is a monumental change for consumers, health, and the environment, but it's not one that we are doing alone. 6 states have begun fully phasing out polystyrene, joined by local governments in 10 other states, including Texas, Virginia, Colorado, Maryland, and others. But it is important that we not just turn away from one harmful product, but turn towards good alternative products, and further developing demand and markets for those alternatives to be made right here in the state of Florida. There are numerous food packaging alternatives already in existence, made from plant fibers, post-consumer paperboard, and reusable and recyclable containers. Even better, these alternatives can be cost-effective and made from crops grown right here in Florida, including hemp fibers and sugarcane stalks, which could also be used more for green harvesting as well. Working together is a huge opportunity to create food jobs, Florida jobs, at Florida businesses, using Florida-grown crops to create a next-generation products that are made in Florida. With over a third of states taking action on this, phasing out polystyrene will spur innovation and create opportunities for entrepreneurship, will reduce chemicals harmful to consumer health and our environment, will reduce cost discarding these forever chemicals, and will help keep them off our beaches, out of our waters, and out of our bodies. I'd like to thank some of the partners who have worked with us in developing this plan, including the Surfrider Foundation, and our department looks forward to working with all of these companies and businesses as we regulate and go forward. So now I'd like to call up to the podium Gainesville City Commissioner David Ariol. Thank you. Good seeing you.
Good to see you as well. Thank you. I want to thank Commissioner Fried and the Department of Agriculture. My name is David Ariola. I am a city commissioner from Gainesville. And Gainesville began a local process not too long ago to begin the phase out of polystyrene products, both the sale and the single use of polystyrene products throughout the whole city of Gainesville. We started a public input process, gathered input from business leaders from around the city, and really talked to folks about both the environmental hazards and the public health and public safety dangers of polystyrene products. What we found was there was a lot of agreement among people that you might think would disagree about this politically, because the science is very clear, and here in Florida, we value our environment and we value our people. So after this long public debate process, there was overwhelming public support from business leaders who wanted to be a part of the phase conversation, and there was overwhelming support from the public to pass this ordinance, and it did pass by a supermajority on the Gainesville City Commission. I'm so excited to be here today to talk about this process because this is the right way to do things in Florida, to involve people in the conversation and to talk about how we can continue to be good stewards of our environment. Now, unfortunately for the Gainesville ordinance, Governor Ron DeSantis signed a preemption bill to take away all of that process that we did, all of that public input, all of that public comment. The bill was able to be completely preempted, and so now we have to begin all over again. But that's okay, because sometimes democracy takes time, and sometimes doing the right thing takes time. But it's always worth fighting, and especially when you're thinking about the people of Florida. So I'm grateful again to Commissioner Fried for inviting me here today, and I'm grateful to have all of our partners here. Let's continue to fight for the best future for Florida. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next, I'd like to call up Christina Kalkhors from the North Florida Greens Chamber.
Hello. I'm with the North Florida Green Chamber of Commerce, and we support the efforts by the business community to reduce and improve their waste stream, specifically plastic products that affect human health. We strongly encourage businesses to seek ways to reduce waste, and we offer them resources at the North Florida Green Chamber to do so in a way that limits their impact on their bottom line. The Green Chamber's mission is to make it cool and convenient to be green, and we demonstrate this mission through our programs and policy efforts to make it easier for businesses to implement sustainable choices. One of these tools to help businesses reduce plastic waste and avoid greenwashing is our Buyers Club. Our Buyers Club is a carefully sourced collection of sustainable products that reduce some of the most common items that contribute to this issue. Examples are coffee cups, to-go containers like the clamshell, and to-go bags. The Green Chamber looks forward to continuing our efforts to improve the health of our community and being a resource for more businesses looking to reduce their plastic waste. Thank you very much for your efforts on this.
And now I have the honor of bringing up Madeline Mcnaughton from Brick Street Farms. And before she comes up, I need to brag a little bit about Brick Street Farms. This truly, if you have not gone out to Brick Street Farms and have not had an opportunity to see what they are doing there, it is revolutionary, it is innovative, it is outside the box, and it is literally changing the demographics of the communities in which they are in. Thinking about the ways in which they are going to be growing fruits and vegetables in a way that is better for the environment, better for their communities, and truly this is a terrific partnership, and one that I like to highlight everywhere I go as I travel the state on what we can be doing as the next generation of agriculture. So the floor is yours, Madeline.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Fried, for your continued support, and everyone on your team who has been so supportive of us. Like Commissioner Fried said, my name is Madeline Mcnaughton. I'm the head of business development at Brick Street Farms, and I also have the privilege of being the executive director of our Desert Farms Foundation, which is our nonprofit arm. Brick Street Farms created the technology and vertical farm containers to grow 48 acres worth of farmland in a 1/3 acre parking lot in St. Petersburg. With harvest to home in 24 hours, our product provides nutritional and medicinal food that has not been compromised by traditional supply chain issues. It's grown right on site and one of the most environmentally advanced models in the entire agriculture industry. 85% of leafy greens in our region come from California and Arizona. This means by the time it arrives to our region, it has zero nutritional value. We all know that healthy eating can prevent obesity, type 2 diabetes, and other countless medical issues. Because we are providing the healthiest, most nutritional food, it does not make sense for us to package that food in polystyrene, a known carcinogenic. Food safety is of the utmost importance to us. Even as a young startup with access to little funds, we have ensured the use of alternative packaging in every aspect of our business. Our cooler boxes, delivery boxes, product containers, and takeaway bags are all made from alternative packaging. And by the way, our main supplier is in Florida. We are committed to protecting the health of all Floridians and believe this rule, if implemented, has the potential to help the citizens of our state and their health. Thank you for your consideration and your leadership.
I do have one correction. You said if implemented.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It is when.
When, that is my
Because
fault.
we are
Yes.
doing this. And this is absolutely a challenge to all of our other businesses across the state to follow Brick Street's leadership on this. This is something that is already doable. You just have to be thinking outside the box and thinking of ways to really protect your consumers and protect the environment. And speaking about environmental advocates, I'd like to now call up Eric Rawlings.
My name's Eric Rawlings. I'm with the Foundation for Florida Environmental Protection. Thank you, Commissioner Fried, for bringing the effort to phase out polystyrene foam products. It's days like these that it's rare when all Floridians come together in a bipartisan way and support to protect our families and our health for our environment that we cherish so much. 2 years ago, we created, or actually 6 years ago, we created No Foam Zone here in Orlando, and 2 years ago, we passed an ordinance that halted all the use of polystyrene products in Orlando at all our public facilities, all of our parks, our venues, including Camping World Stadium, Amway Arena, and permitted events over 100 people. The business community stepped up and continues the effort to use more sustainable products. Universal Studios is off of foam. Over 100 businesses and restaurants are off of foam. It is exciting to see the momentum to switch from unhealthy products to healthier, more sustainable products. It's exciting to see that some of the sustainable products are right here made in Florida, as was mentioned previously. Other municipalities have also implemented local changes when they are allowed to. So let's take this and make it a win for Florida, a win for our health, and a win for everyone that enjoys our environment. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, Eric. And last but not least, from our Surfrider Foundation, who's truly been a partnership along the way, Nicole Devanoche, did I say that right this time? All right. Nicole, the floor is yours.
Good morning, and thank you so much, Commissioner Fried and distinguished members of the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs and all these amazing giants behind me. I am Nicole Devanoche. I'm the Florida Policy Manager of the Surfrider Foundation. We are a coastal nonprofit environmental organization dedicated to the protection and enjoyment of the world's oceans, waves, and beaches for all people through a powerful activist network, including here in the state of Florida, where we have over 11 chapters, as well as clubs throughout our university and high school system. Our volunteers are literally the flip-flops on the ground, and we are here to, in strong support of the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services rulemaking on the elimination of polystyrene in our grocery, market, and convenience stores in over 40,000 plus applications throughout the state. This is a truly momentous day. It's an important day. Environmentally, we know that polystyrene EPS is lightweight and buoyant. It's a huge environmental detriment.
It breaks apart with little provocation, and the foam packaging quickly becomes microplastics, which embed itself in our soils and waters, where comprehensive cleanup is absolutely impossible. EPS is particularly detrimental because it also doesn't biodegrade. It simply breaks up into smaller and smaller pieces. It contaminates our beloved birds, sea turtles, marine mammals. This year alone, we have almost 1,000 UME event of our manatees. We've had some amazing speakers here talking about the Indian River Lagoon, the Everglades, and all of these things that make up what we call our blue economy here in the state of Florida. We know that EPS polystyrene does not recycle. It's already been proven in multiple states. So therefore, we look to other things. One, reuse. We also, as we're here at the Energy and Climate Summit, we're looking at plastic being a climate issue as it's made from oil and gas. The Center for International Environmental Law reports that plastic is a major source of greenhouse gas emissions, almost twice as much produced in the aviation sector. Reduction of plastic waste should be included in any climate action plan for Florida role as part of our resiliency. Additionally, it's of significance that this is an environmental justice issue, whereby usually our poorest and our most vulnerable populations of Florida are left with the brunt of the damaging impacts of polystyrene and other plastics pollution. In 2019, they found that 79% of incinerators are located in Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities, and that the pollutant fumes produced by these incinerating plastics have toxic effects when inhaled. Cleaning up this litter is also costly on our economy. Florida's economy relies on tourism, and polystyrene litter fouls our beaches. Recreation and tourism is our #1 industry here in Florida, and therefore we know that the healthy ocean and coastal ecosystem is vital for the health of our environment and our economy. Common economic concerns about potentially impacted business owners have been shown here that it can be done, the technology is there, and we have many other states that have already shown us this is the case. The truth is, as Floridians, we have an obligation and a responsibility to take on sustainable business opportunities to remove single-use plastics such as polystyrene from our grocery stores and convenience stores and to replace them with ecologically friendly substitutions through this rule. To meet the needs of our growing population at over 22 million almost, it is essential to think long-term by creating both a balance of economic growth and positive social impact, thereby protecting the needs of future generations. We are so thankful for the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services to make this commitment to a vision of resources that are not consumed for just a minute and then left for our taxpayers to clean up. I want to thank you so much for today, and we hope that this rule is a step towards your commitment to Florida citizens and a future where our most valuable resources are protected for future generations. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Thank you. And truly, thank you all for being here today and being part of this partnership. We can't do this without you, and your knowledge and your information and your leadership on these issues is what got us here today. And so thank you for everything that you are doing. This is truly a partnership in everything, because this is not just our only way that we're protecting our environment. This is one of many. And so I hope to see you all tomorrow morning as we kick off the 2021 Florida Energy and Climate Summit, where we will continue to address more of the ways that our department and our partners are working to address climate change and moving forward to clean energy in the future. And just showing how this is already getting put into fruition, I was at an event earlier last week, and an entrepreneur who actually used to be a city commissioner came up to me and told me that because of the legalization of hemp in the state and because of our rulemaking, that she is no longer running for re-elect so that she can go focus on creating a new product line here in the state of Florida to start replacing some of these products using hemp that she is growing out in the Panhandle. So again, all it takes is a little bit of a spark, and everything else ignites from there. So thank you, and I'll take some questions.
Commissioner, I know the rule is process is just beginning. How do you envision this reporting method, this voluntary reporting method for businesses to work? Can you give us a little detail?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, as part of the rulemaking that we're going through is that we want every single year that any of the convenience stores, any of the industries that we are regulating, to be able to report to us exactly how many they're using throughout the course of the year. So that way, when we're doing our phase out approach, that we know exactly what our benchmarks need to be and how we get that under control. So it's probably going to be like some kind of form for if you want technical stuff, more of a form that they'll fill out. They'll give us the information, the questions, though, that we know exactly what we're working with.
So is this going to be a voluntary thing, or is this
No.
something that can be enforced?
No, this will be part of their obligation on their renewals for their food service permits.
Is it possible for restaurants to come under this umbrella of regulation as well?
So unfortunately, we do not regulate the business of the restaurants. That's under the Department of Business Regulations. But certainly, we hope that the DBPR will then take that step and start doing it towards restaurants, or more importantly, that they actually become good stewards and step up to the plate, literally and figuratively, and start doing this internally.
There's been some talk about, here about Florida producers of some of these products. Are there some specific Florida producers of some of these biodegradable?
Yeah, all of these products that are behind us are all Florida products. And so, again, once the entrepreneurs understand that this is an industry for them to get into, that there is an opportunity for them to be good stewards of the environment, but also, again, being good entrepreneurs, making a good income for themselves and their communities.
And forgive me, could you explain a little bit more about how the rule is likely to either encourage or provoke current businesses into switching to these kinds of products?
Sure. So it's just, again, this is a partnership. So why we're doing the rulemaking and making sure that everybody's got a seat at the table. So the first year, again, is getting that data point, and then it is a reduction. And so and part of that is we also wanted to make sure, like every other thing that we do inside the department, and as opposed to what sometimes the legislature does, it puts mandates that are unfunded. We want to make sure that we are sparking that innovation and that entrepreneurship across the entire state. And so the more products that come online from the business community, from entrepreneurs, from those that are wanting free market competition, will see this as an opportunity to get into this industry, knowing that we're going to have these replacements for 40,000 of our known regulatory agency regulated industries. So that way people know that there is a market to be played here. And if they come to market, understand this picture, that you're talking about billions of dollars of replaceable products that have to come online within a very short order. So hopefully there's enough entrepreneurs that are listening and knowing that this is their chance to find partners, whether it is, again, looking at what other industries have done on the replacements, both here in Florida and across the country and across the world. Those products have been in existence for over 100 years. It's time to make Florida the capital of entrepreneurship, of startups, and this is a great place to start.
Now that's a way on the supply side. What about on the demand side for the businesses that you're
Well, they will be in a situation where this is the rule, that as they have reported to us how much they use on year one, then we're going to be asking for that, again, that gradual phase out of their usages. So if they're using, let's just say for a hypothetical example, they're using 20,000 styrofoam containers a year. And if we're doing a 30, 40, whatever the percentage is that we get to in rulemaking, that means that they need to be able to show us after that year that they have reduced their usage of those styrofoams and they're finding those replacements. And the other thing that is really important to us too is that we are working hand in hand with also our food safety portion of our department to make sure that the products that we are replacing with are also okay for food to be consumed in them. And so whether it's microwavable or just having the food, that there's not chemicals that are leaking into the food. So we are working with our food safety as well as consumers, all of our partners, to make sure that the products that we are going to show them work are also healthy.
So it's 30 or 40% per year reductions. Would that be goals or would those be mandates?
Those are going to be mandates. Okay, good. All right, thank you, everybody.